Thank you. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for appearing today. My questions are to ORIC, Office of the Registrar of Indigenous Corporations. It's been widely reported that many Indigenous... Are you from ORIC? ORIC?
Yep.
I'll wait till you sit. Thank you for being here. It's been widely reported that many Indigenous corporations have not submitted reports required under statute.
Yep.
How many Indigenous corporations are in breach of requirements to submit their required reports this period?
Thank you for the question, Senator. As at 6th of October, I can confirm that of the 3,312 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander corporations, 2,940 are required to lodge one or more annual reports. So some have exemptions. Of those 2,940, I can confirm that 1,162, or 39.5% of corporations required to lodge one or more reports, have not yet lodged their 24 reports, which would have been due December 24, noting that 2025 reports are not due till the end of this year. Senator, for context though, I would add that of those 1,162 corporations that have failed to lodge last year's reports, 84% of those corporations are small corporations. So they're corporations that have a consolidated gross income revenue of under $100,000 each year, and are only required to lodge a general report. Corporations that are large, and rightly so, those that should be subject to greater public scrutiny and funding body scrutiny, represent 2% of corporations, 2% of those corporations that have not yet lodged their reports.
So about 250 is my rough mental arithmetic. Large corporations, not small corporations that have failed to lodge a report.
Number. Yeah. 241.
Oh, pretty close.
Yep.
That's a lot. It might only be 2%. It's actually it's actually about 8% of the total corporations. How many board members average on a board, on a corporation?
Senator, I don't have that figure on hand. I can tell you, I can take that on notice. I can tell you that across the 3,000 odd corporations, there is a 17,649 in total director positions. And that doesn't account for that some directors might sit on multiple corporations. Under the legislation, corporations can have up to 12 directors, and over 12 requires an exemption to do so.
Say that again about the exemption, please.
To have less than 3 or over 12 directors on a board requires an exemption.
Okay, thank you. How many Aboriginals are overseen or helped or serviced by these boards? And Torres Strait Islanders, of course.
Sorry, Senator, I wouldn't be in a position to answer that question. I can tell you that of the just over 3,000 corporations, they are made up of just shy of 245,000 members. And again, not accounting that some members might be members of multiple corporations.
What was that number again, sorry?
244,594 to be exact. Senator, those corporations, the 3,300 corporations, as I mentioned before, they can be very small corporations with under $100,000 in assets or $100,000 in income, through to large corporations. They do everything from cultural heritage protection, land and water management, schools, health services, and other vital social services. The total reach of those services to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander clients and beneficiaries, I wouldn't be in a position to even guesstimate, Senator.
So you mentioned 2,940 are required to report. 3,300 is the total number, so about 360 are not required to report.
88% of corporations are required to lodge some form of an annual report.
I appreciate your concise and direct answers, so thank you for that. Why have these breaches occurred? I know the small corporations are probably lack of... Well, you tell me.
Senator, there's a number of reasons why corporations don't lodge their annual reports, and we encourage corporations wherever possible to reach out to us and let us know and help us understand the reason for it. It can be turnover in boards, it can be difficulties getting the services of auditors, it can be disruption in corporations, or it can be just apathy and negligence of director duties. Why we encourage corporations to reach out and let us know and be on almost a kind of update plan with us that we can keep on top of when we can expect reports is that we take that into consideration with our prosecutions, our prosecution work. So we have referred 60 corporations to CDPP for prosecution for failing to lodge reports. 27 corporations have been prosecuted. Senator, they are medium and large corporations, so again they're corporations with over $100,000 annual revenue, and those which I think the public would rightfully expect a higher degree of accountability to their members, to their regulator, but also to their funders. That's why medium and large corporations are those which we refer for prosecution, where they persistently fail to lodge reports for a couple of years. We've now moved, or we deregister corporations.
And what happens when they're deregistered?
So for corporations deregistered, it no longer exists. There are challenges with deregistering corporations, particularly those that hold assets. So there might be a corporation that holds assets but is ordinarily not conducting business and continually failing to lodge their reports. We've recently sought legal advice on alternative measures for those corporations, including winding up. Senator, we've also flagged to the public that where a corporation continually fails to lodge its reports and has been subjected to prosecution and still refuses, that we will consider civil prosecution against individual directors.
So the directors can be liable?
It's a lengthy and an expensive exercise for ORIC to pursue civil litigation against directors that continually fail, hence why we flagged it in our recent regulatory posture. And it's done so because where a corporation is prosecuted for failing to lodge its reports, it's an offence of the corporation, and the corporation is what pays the fine if the court imposes one. So our intention now is that where directors sit behind that, that we will actually pursue civilly individual directors.
What's being
I'll
done?
ask you to wrap it up, Senator Roberts.
Sorry, Senator, and I've also got with me Deputy Registrar Andrew Huey, who can help answer your questions.
Is there any suggestion of fraud being involved or incompetence being involved, or is it just apathy? You mentioned apathy. Well, what would be the defining characteristics?
For the small corporations, and again that's the 84% of corporations not lodging reports, I would say it is a capacity, a capability issue, challenge, and a degree of apathy around reporting. We have no evidence that there is an immediate and direct correlation with medium and large corporations failing to lodge their financial reports with evidence of fraud, noting that when corporations do lodge their annual reports, a quality check by us in terms that the report has been done, directors have signed off on it, directors have done their declaration and accept responsibility for it, is one way of identifying where there might be red flags. But in the main, evidence of corruption, fraud, mismanagement or negligence of director duties or abuse of director duties, in the main come through other avenues, through referrals, through reports of concerns and complaints.
Thank you. Final question. Apart from keeping track of it, what changes in oversight will you introduce to ensure the integrity of the management of these Indigenous corporations? Have you got an overall plan for raising the standards?
So we have refreshed our 2-day governance training, and it's for directors. Sitting current directors are given priority. Members and relevant staff can also attend the training, and we've also introduced a new, 1-day Understanding Your Finance training, which is designed for directors to be able to understand how to read financials and have greater confidence in asking questions, knowing what to look for and holding their management staff accountable for financial reporting to them.
Building understanding to build confidence.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chair, and thank you.